Hey everybody, this is Tyler Yonker, aka Mrs. Yonks. Thank you guys so much for joining us for our REtoken the real estate DAO live stream about Mighty Networks. So Mighty Networks is a tool that Yonks and I have used before, really like it, wanted to introduce this to REtoken, see if this is a community see if this is a tool that makes sense for our community. So I'm going to go through a real quick of the history of Mighty Networks, what they're trying to do, and then let's go through the tools and we'll stop for questions. So um, Mighty Networks was originally started in, I think it was 2007, and it was called Ning, and it was kind of before its time. It was before Facebook was really a major thing, and Facebook groups weren't really a thing yet, and it never really went anywhere. So they saw the success of Facebook groups, and they realized Facebook groups are great for getting a quick question answered or engaging with one post, but they're not great for connecting with people, and they're not great for just searching everything in general content. A lot of times Facebook is very curated about what you see, and Mighty Networks isn't, and nobody ever really makes friends on a Facebook group. There are people who you can connect with for different reasons, but overwhelmingly you're just interacting with the host or with the post, and it's an exchange of information, not really a chance to build relationships. So what Mighty Networks was trying to do was be a true community building tool where you can curate however you want, and the default is everybody sees everything that they opt into. So it's really clean, it's really beautiful, it's got a lot of integrations that we can add in. So I'm just going to start going through the tools and let's just see if this makes sense. Before we went live, Yanks had mentioned that we are in a 14-day free trial. It's ending in 5 days. Afterwards, I think all the features and integrations are $99 a month, and we just need to decide if this is a tool that's going to make sense to build our community up. So the first thing is this is the home screen when you sign in. Once you sign into the tool, what you're going to see by default is the general thing. Ernest of Gaia, this is great. It looks like he's used Mighty Networks before. This is how clean the posts look. You have a chance to like stuff, comment on it. So are you guys seeing my screen scroll down as I'm scrolling?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So again, this is a chance you can start seeing that some of these people, you can post funny stuff, you post content. These are
hold on. You got to go back. You can't scroll that much past Yoda with Yoda saying that and not give Yoda because that's one of my favorite sayings. Come on, babe. Give me a little love on the whole try thing there.
I will give you a little love, and that surely is one of his favorite expressions. And overwhelmingly, when I think something's going to be too hard, I used to say I'm going to try. Now I just say screw it. I don't want to do it at all. So that's what happens anyway. So it's my little confession. But this is just a really fun way to connect. You can see that this event, for some of you, are a little bit more Discord native than others. And one of the things that we like about Mighty Networks is it feels a little bit more like Web2. It feels a little bit more like Facebook. The events are cleaner. You can see this is exactly what this is. This does integrate with your local time. So you will, if you're logged in on your account, this should post whatever time it is, wherever you are. You can also watch the live video. All the links are right there. It's just really clean. So that's one of the things we like it. If you can see right here, the event tag, we'll get into the tags in a minute, but you can sort by only show you the events. You can add in as much of a profile as you want. You can use your real name or not. Some people do, some don't. It's up to you. We don't have a preference either way. You can post your location or not. Again, up to you. So whatever you feel comfortable with. This is really fun. So whatever you feel comfortable with from a privacy standpoint, share whatever you want. Don't share anything you don't feel comfortable sharing. And that's the beginning of my networks. Does anybody have questions so far? All right, cool. Let me see what's in the chat. Cool.
Yeah, and just to bring it up verbally, I did mention in the chat too that Planner DAO also uses Mighty Networks, and categorically, I would say that Planner DAO is in a fairly similar category. They're more of like a DAO for professionals, and that's really the direction that I think that we're going to go towards too. Especially like one of the things that we've got on our roadmap is developing our fractionalized real estate certificate program. And the other reason that I like Planner DAO is just as far as like a case study. Mrs. Yonks and we did interview host Adam Bloomberg on the DAO hack in early September. She did a fabulous job hosting Adam from Planner DAO. So if you want to get like a really good exposure and to put some numbers behind Planner DAO, when I joined their Mighty Networks the other day, I believe they had almost 500 people in their Mighty Networks. So they have a very solid Mighty Networks that has a nice refined feel. And I don't know if you've even went to the topics yet, Tyler, but that's really like the main place where you can organize, or one of the main places that you can organize some stuff in Mighty Networks.
No, I haven't gotten there yet. It's on the list, but the planner and Planner DAO is financial planners. And so when we were interviewing Adam, one of the things that we had asked him was, is this just strictly for retail financial professionals? And he said, no, it's for wholesalers, it's for life insurance agents, it's for a broad, accountants, attorneys, basically there's a huge broad swath of people that are peripherally or deeply into financial planning as a profession. And where that really showed up for us was there are a bunch of people who are peripherally interested in real estate. Maybe they own a house, or they own a rental house, or they own shares of a REIT, or they've bought real estate tokens in the past, or they do none of those, but they're interested in it, or they're a realtor and they've been deeply in the profession for years. And we want to have spaces for all those people. So we went through the home screen, the discovery screen. This is where you can really start looking. And when we get more topics in, this will show up differently. We have the ability to create topics. So we can create a few different topics. We can call this the Mighty Launch Team. Oh no, I'm sorry, this is the wrong thing. We can call we can call this real estate, and for things that are directly related to real estate, they will show up here. If you want to follow this topic, you can. If you're like, man, I don't really care about real estate, I only really care about tokenomics. So we could have another, tokenomics. So we can create another thing. We can create as many or as few topics as we want, and then we can start tagging posts to tokenomics, to real estate, to research, to whatever. So we can make these whatever we want and really customize this to us. The events tab is going to, we really wanted to create this as much more of a clean interface for all of the events. The reason why we use Nearby was because Jason and I are super interested in creating some real life meetup.com or other meetup groups in Denver where we are, and then in all of your cities if you would like. So one of the things that we want to do is start tagging events. All of our live stream events, we want to start tagging those as virtual events. And then we want to, this is how easy it is. We can post this here. We can put a topic in. This is where the topics come up. We can create this. We can add start and end time. We can create repeating events. We can say if it's a Zoom event, or it's a meeting, or it's a webinar, or it's live video or text. We also have the option to post live events if we want to, and want to include these here. We can restrict event links. So if we want to say this particular meeting, you have to hold REtoken to RSVP to it, or it's only for later on if we happen to have investors, or if it's only for however we want to restrict it, we can make it open. We can close RSVPs if we don't want to let any more people RSVP to it, especially if we have a bandwidth limitation on other tools. It's pretty flexible. We can add images, we can add descriptions, and that all shows up. Nearby is based on your location. So if you, I actually have not filled out my profile. It's terrible. Jason tagged himself for Denver. If you want to see other people or events that are happening in your city, when we have, 10, 20, 30 people on this, there probably aren't going to be a lot of live events. When we've got 500 or 5,000 or 100,000 people in this thing, then hopefully there will be lots of events and you'll be able to screen out for what it is. If any of you guys want to if you just want to see what you're organizing, you can do that too. Past events, this is where we I just want to do DAO things with my friends. That's spectacular. I didn't realize that was the cover page. Whoever did that, that's excellent. So the content kickoff call is really nice. If you don't know what something was and you're curious about it, you can see there's a link right here to YouTube. If you want to see it in advance, you can add it to your calendar. You can add the video link. This is the stuff that you can see. This is the stuff that Jason already puts in the Trello card. This may be a little bit easier for some people to manage. So I know Trello, or it's not Trello, Discord can be a little overwhelming sometimes. So this is really a tool to help people manage more of that. Does anybody have questions so far? No, cool. Okay, under interests, we can allow people to put in whatever interests they want to be. Jason put in a bunch of these things. If any of you guys strongly identify with one or more of these, we can tag you into that. One of the ways that we want to let people manage their own settings is we can either tag people by interests. If they're not interested in something, then they won't see it, or we can let people follow topics that they want to follow, and again, not get the kind of the crushing everything all the time. The teams function is pretty cool for the teams. This is where we can say the team is ambassador, the team is content, and then we can make stuff public or private or secret. So the difference between the three is public is open to everybody. It's searchable in Google. It's public means public. It's out there. Private is people can see that the topic exists, but they can't see what the content is unless it's in. Secret means nobody knows that the topic even exists or the group even exists unless they're in the group. So my guess is we will probably make most things public. Some things later on, if we happen to get into some securities offerings, stuff that we're not able or don't want to make public for legal reasons, we'll probably tag as private. And then if we have to add in people's disclaimers, like I'm a US citizen, or I'm an accredited investor, or I'm a whatever, to get into the private group, or if we're just not ready to make stuff public because it's not done yet. And then the secret groups are just if we don't want somebody to see something at all, and that's a thing. So does that make sense to everybody? So there are two things up here. One of these is these are my notifications. The ambassador program is different. So there's two things. Mighty Network generically uses the term ambassador for anybody who's recruiting new members. Yank sent out a link, so I think he's a gold ambassador already because everybody kind of joined on his link. The ambassador rewards are, let me find the ambassadors.
That's an opportunity of something that we wanted to define using that. We could. It's just an easy built-in thing that they have.
Yeah. So on the see all members, welcome new members, message all members. These are settings that I have because I'm a host. If you are not a host, you're not necessarily going to see all these. I don't want you guys to freak out and see download the member list. The only people who can do that are people who are hosts who are running this. So if anybody on the core team wants to be a host, we can do that. Otherwise, everybody starts off as a member, and you don't have that yet. So don't forget about privacy or anything like that. We're not going to give those out. We're not going to give those out to everybody that comes in. We do have the opportunity to bring in rewards, like where it says here, Jason just became a bronze ambassador. This is really fun. Bronze ambassador, silver, gold mean absolutely nothing unless we define them. He gets a little badge on his profile for doing that. If we decide as a community that we want to award REtoken for hitting certain ambassador levels or other prizes or whatever, we can talk about that as a community, but that's something that we do have an option. We also have the opportunity to just turn that off if nobody wants that. I think it's fun. It's it doesn't cost us anything, and right now all you get is a badge for doing it. If we want to add in additional rewards, that's something that we're able to do. This next tab over is the global chat. Again, this is something that we can turn this on or off if we like it. Some people think the servers are too chatty. Some people think they're too static. Again, I've never been in a mighty network that was anywhere near the level of chattiness of Discord, but this app tends to be something that people use for more content management, not as much for chatting. Discord is primarily a chat app, so that's where the chats usually show up. So let's see if there's, yeah, cool. Andrea, great question. How can we join the teams? I don't know if I have to assign you to the teams, or you'll be able to join them yourself once they're built. That's something that I need to do. So let me get back to you on that. Once you are interested in joining a team, I need to find out as the host if I can just say let anybody join a team that they want to, or if they have to request to join, but I'll get back to you on that. That's a great question. Under courses, this was another driver that we really liked on this. Jason's mentioned several times that we're interested in hosting a number of designations, whether that's what is tokenization real at once. So courses can be several different things. And again, we can define these as the community. The first thing that a course can be is an actual course, like a webinar that says, this is going to be course 1 of 3 of the fractionalized real estate expert designation. We have the ability to make that free or paid, or course 1 is free if you want to go through course 1, 2, and 3 and get the designation. That costs, or we can make it cost from the beginning. We also have the ability to put in affiliate programs. If any of you guys are interested in earning money for this, one of the things that we are also interested in doing is creating coursework as REtoken, and then maybe doing a really high, like a 25 or 50% affiliate fee, where every time somebody buys the course, the REtoken community gets half, and then the affiliate gets half. And that's a great opportunity to promote it to your networks and recruit people into it. And then you would just get paid out separately. And that's functionality that we have here. So the courses are really cool. The opportunity to do courses is a couple things. We can either make it really formal, like a designation. We also have the opportunity to say REtoken 101 and give people, it's a free class of tokenomics. We have a really broad swath of people in this community. Some people are very crypto native and some people are very new, and we really want to make this community open to everybody. So with the courses, one course that I would like to throw out, and Julie does an amazing job timekeeping for all these YouTubes that we're doing all the time, is to just say, what is REtoken 101? Because we tend to answer a lot of the same questions over and over. And that may be something that we say, hey, watch this course. It's a half an hour. It just is, here's what a token is. Here's how you get a wallet. Here's how all this stuff works. okay, do you still have questions? Here's REtoken 102. This is how you earn REtoken. This is how you, like, this is what an airdrop is, and all this kind of things. So we have an opportunity to do free or paid or both or whatever we want to do. So does that all make sense so far? Yeah.
And to add a little bit more to that, this is one of their flagship features that really differentiates Mighty Networks and kind of puts it in a class of its own. And just imagine how that this could potentially play into our strategy for fulfilling our roadmap for developing the fractionalized real estate certificate program. This is definitely a way that we could fulfill that. And I think that there's some other communities besides Planner DAO that I already mentioned. One that is also worth mentioning, and this is more of an academic tilt, especially with younger kids, is the Blockchain Education Network. And I believe that they have like 1,000 or 1,400 members. I can't remember exactly, but that's another crypto blockchain, obviously blockchain education network that uses Mighty Networks. Because I think a lot of the times, and I've said this before, is I'm not necessarily a fan of like reinventing or trying to figure out. And if you can see some other, how some other communities have well implemented this. And the other opportunity too, and this is something that will be going, that really people that want to really get on board and helping us build this out. And Mrs. Yonks and I will have some more conversations. You want to take a look here real quick, because we've only got like 20 minutes here, and this is kind of like a super quick crash course, and I don't know how much time within this hour that we're actually going to have to go through as far as from strategy. But if you wanted to take a look at the calendar, I would feel really good like getting another Mighty Networks where we can circle back, because the goal is to really put something forward where the community at large can feel comfortable saying, hey, this is something that we can really see value. So like one of the other things too, that's a big question mark. And to be clear, I don't have any expectations that people actively engage in both, because look at this as just one other way that we can potentially, like, because there's some people that absolutely hate Discord. And I mean, that's something that has already come up in our conversations. So that's something that time will tell as far as how that this evolves and how people and this is of course that if we do implement it. So I'm just trying to set some expectations, that we don't have any expectations that people are like, hey, if I sign up for Mighty Networks, or, you know, do I have to be active in both types of communities? And absolutely not. I mean, the reason that we're really exploring Mighty Networks is to make the community that we're building here more accessible for everyone.
Yeah, and that's great feedback. So one of the things, Andrea had a comment that she'd like to use Mighty Networks more than Discord. One of the feedbacks we've been hearing from a few people is the notifications are the Discord notifications are a little overwhelming, and when they're trying to find something, it's a little challenging because there's just so much there. So our other option is we could do this hybrid, like Jason mentioned, of saying we could put the more static stuff on Mighty Networks, and then use Discord as truly more of a chat app, and meetings, organizations, classes, YouTube videos, stuff goes on Mighty Networks. Discussion about stuff goes on Discord, and then if people want to talk, they can talk on Discord, but they don't have to feel like they are either going to miss everything because they turn off notifications on Discord, or they're getting notified 100 times a day every time we post something, which is pretty chatty. So that's the preliminary on this. As far as the docs go, this is a redirect to docs.retoken.info. This is, a lot of you guys have seen the site before. It's our social media link, mission, founding principles, our light paper, which everybody works super hard on. Our thank you to everybody here who was part of our light paper group. You guys did an awesome job. Mission, founding principles, REtoken policy. So this is something that, again, this is on here for two reasons. One is the more backlinks we get to Mighty Networks and the docs page, the better the SEO will be for the docs page. And the second thing is we want one more way to be public about what we're doing and have one repository. So we didn't want to recreate any of the doc stuff. So people are like, oh, you should put your mission statement there. I'm like, we don't need it. That's where the docs are. So that can be in more of a start here page of saying, hey, curious about our mission, want to read our light paper, want all of our social media in one place, go to the docs and it's all there. So as far as the online now goes, I'm the only one who's signed into it at this moment. This is something that the app is pretty clean. If you guys want to download the Mighty Networks app, I think Jason mentioned it's a pretty expensive integration. If you actually want a white labeled app, it'll show up as Mighty Networks. If we actually wanted to show up as the REtoken app, that's what's $500 a month. What this is after the free trial, I think it's $99 a month. The big difference between, or the big upgrade at 99 versus another level, it's I think like $20 or $25 a month, is up here at the top where you can see retoken.mn. That just becomes a number or some sort of generic URL. If we don't pay for the upgrade, that's the big jump is the personalized URL. So if we're going to do this tool, I would like to recommend that we do it at the level where we can personalize the URL. So for branding and for SEO, if we're not that committed to it, then we can just kind of park this and put it on pause. There's not much in it. You saw that Ernest and Blackfire and a couple of other people have been starting to chime in. There is one other tool that's pretty cool. There is a program called Zapier, and there are several versions of it, or several competitors. I don't know all the names of it, but what Zapier does is did you just add an event? Oh,
Ernest,
nice.
that was probably Ernest.
Oh, Ernest. Excellent. Thank you, Ernest. Fabulous.
I'm guessing there. That's his little icon thing.
This guy. Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. So one other thing I was going to mention about Mighty Networks, and this is cool. Thanks, Ernest, for doing that, is you can see stuff pops up in real time. In the app, you can also get notifications in real time. When we're doing events, like Jason and I mentioned that we're planning on going to the ETH Denver conference. And if any of you guys are going to be in town for that, you can post pictures, you can post content, you can post docs and tools and whatever. So there's all kinds of ways that we can use Mighty Networks to just create a really good collaborative community. And the nice thing about the app is that I have never felt like Sesh as a tool to organize the event is really nice. As a reminder, I think it's a little awkward because I'm getting so many Discord notifications. If my calendar's pinging at me, I care. If Discord's pinging at me, I don't always care. So a lot of times if I don't have something on my calendar, I'll mess it on Sash because it just looks like all the other notifications. This is a way that we can clean up the notifications. You can get a Mighty Networks pop-up app in your app, or you can only get pop-ups on the topics that you want. You can, this is how you actually get your ambassador badge, is if you start inviting people, and again, you can invite them to be, I think I have these permissions as a host. I don't know if everybody does. If you are currently a member, I think you're only going to see invited as a member, but if otherwise you'll get these pop-ups. But this is something that you can customize this if you want. And again, this is just really cool. If you under sent invites, you can see this is how we REtoken invited me. I opened it, I joined it, and that's the profile. I'm actually signed in as REtoken versus being signed in as myself because oh wait, no, I am signed in as myself. I can actually sign in as REtoken and be the network administrator, but yeah, that's what we're doing. So thanks, Dax, Andrea, cool. Love this. Ernest is already posting stuff, tagging stuff, tokenomics. So this is what stuff looks like. So I actually didn't coordinate this with Ernest, but I just want to thank him because this is exactly what it looks like. So it's basically a version of Facebook that doesn't have all the rabble on it, and most
the
of
biggest the biggest differentiator between this platform and like Facebook is that Facebook controls, and it's a pay to play. And if you do a Facebook page or a Facebook group, they absolutely have all the control over your ability to communicate with the community. That's the nice thing about Mighty Networks, is that you have complete control over how and when to communicate with your community. There's not any like algorithm. So like Mighty Networks business model isn't ad revenue. Google's and Facebook business model is ad revenue. This is a community building platform.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And the big thing is it's still pay to play. You're just paying as the community. You're not paying. It's not a free community with ads. So anyway, I wanted to keep this thing right to 45 minutes. We've got about 10 minutes left. What are your thoughts, questions, ideas, comments? What do you think based on, and I know everybody needs a chance to play around with it, but what's everybody's initial thoughts? Should we go for it? Should we try it? Do we want to think about it some more? What's everybody think?
I think that we should have let people really kind of get in, and then like we should provide a little bit more framework than we have here between now and just looking at the calendar. Like right now, we don't have anything on the calendar for Monday. And I'm thinking like, I wouldn't mind committing 2 hours to like really put a solid strategy so that we can make something presented to the community where, people have a good like idea of the direction that this is going in and the value proposition of leaning more into this tool.
Well, Julie just mentioned Ernie had a question. Circle.so over Mighty Networks. I have never heard of Circle.so. It's definitely a tool I'm happy to check out. I am familiar with Mighty Networks, and we've used it before. So I don't know what Circle.so is. I'm happy to check that out. If you are familiar with it, I'd love for you to give me a one-on-one kind of offline. That'd be super helpful. The one other thing on REtoken or on Mighty Networks, I think I just got distracted with, was it's integrated with Zapier on like 200 apps. So Jason and I built a community for a game that we were playing that we don't play anymore, that a lot of outside content creators made content specifically related to this game. And so something that we added in a Zapier integration on was we said, hey, every time Amy posts a video, grab the video off of her YouTube channel, make a post about it, tag it as content, tweet it out on our account, and make a Facebook post about it. And every time Julie makes a different piece of content, grab her stuff. And every time Crush makes a piece of content, grab her stuff. So that's the way that we did this. And then we started saying, oh, Tyler's content's kind of mediocre. Like it's weird. Like stop feeding Tyler's content. Or Jason was making interesting content, but then he just stopped. So he doesn't need a channel anymore. So we can do that with tags. We can do it with channels, topics. There's a bunch of different ways we can sort out content. We can grab. And so a lot of the stuff that's in our Discord server with like Bankless, Aragon, a lot of servers that we like that we're friends with, getting all their feeds again can be a little bit overwhelming for somebody that wants to pop into Discord maybe 2-3 times a week and just wants to know what's going on with REtoken. And then they're getting all these notifications about feeds from everything. So this is a way that we could feed in content, and we could also say, hey, if you care about Bankless, subscribe to the Bankless channel. And if you don't, and then you'll get the content that you want. And you can say, hey, I don't really care about these parts of REtoken, and I do. So maybe I want these 3 out of 7 parts of REtoken. I want Bankless, and I don't care about anything else. So you can customize it to yourself, but we're not going to customize it for you. We just say, here's everything, but take what you want and don't take the rest. Who else has comments?
Can I ask a question,
Yeah, of course.
Tyler? So this Mighty Networks is not actually a replacement for the Discord, right? It's another
Right.
way. It's
Yeah,
another way.
It's
And-
and go ahead, Amy.
And if you post something here, it's not open to the public. We have to promote it. Is that correct?
Well, this is going to depend on the settings. So we've got a couple things. If we set everything to public, then if you start Googling REtoken, then the content that we post will come up. So if you Google Amy Marcella REtoken and you've made a post in here, like that will probably show up in Google if you've made everything public. If we want to make private channels, so for example, when we start doing our securities token launch, for legal reasons, there are probably going to be a bunch of things that we don't want to make public until the SEC has given us the go ahead to start publicizing things. So that's stuff that we're probably going to want to make sure does not end up in Google, so we can just discuss things privately and make sure that we've got all of our compliance work done and all that before we actually go live with anything. So everything that we set to be public will be native. So to answer to your first question, the thought on this was we're trying to solve the problem. People gave us this feedback. Discord is confusing. It's not super easy to search in it, and it's just overwhelming with the notifications. So what we thought was if the content could be parked here, Jason posts tons of stuff that I think is super interesting, but if I'm not looking at it right then, it just kind of gets buried. So we thought, what if we made Discord the discussion app, and then we started posting events, courses, content that is interesting but not immediate, like articles about real estate and articles about different things and research and that kind of stuff, or collaborative projects. We kind of parked them all over here in Mighty Networks, and then just stuff that's happening now in the right now chat on Discord. So that was kind of our thought and organization. We're obviously open to whatever you guys think on that, but that was the goal, was to search stuff and give people who aren't Discord native a way to say, hey, I don't want to chat. I just want to research stuff. I don't really want to be part of the community aspect of talking about stuff all the time. I just want to search. And maybe when we're investable later on, they'll want to do that or not, but then they don't have to be involved with all the discussions and all the other stuff we got going on.
So when you say there's a monthly fee, is that even for us or just for REtoken? I was just wondering.
Yeah, it would. I mean, we could technically do both. That's one of the Mighty Networks is one of the best platforms if we wanted to create more of a gated like at some point in time, if we wanted to say, okay, like one of the value propositions for REtoken is that we have this membership opportunity where it's like, $20 a month or something, but we that's not something that we've spoken about. It would be something like Tyler alluded to, and we could definitely take a look at Circle. I mean, like that's something that the underlying we don't have a crystal ball. We don't know what this is going to look like as far as from a content evolution standpoint. This is just to provide another opportunity for increasing the access. And my expectation is that there's probably going to be some type of integration somewhere, somehow, that we could do with Discord. I don't know what that would look like. But all of these types of tools have API access. So
sure. We can, so Amy, in answer to your question, the first question that we need to decide as a community is, does REtoken want to spend $99 a month of REtoken's treasury? And that was one of the things. Obviously we can't pay them in crypto, so that was one of the things that we would need to transfer REtoken's money into REtoken's bank account. That was part of what we were driving the bus on, trying to get a bank account open for things like this. If we want to have a membership option, we can discuss that as a community later on. It will likely be a freemium option where we say everybody gets A, B, and C channels. Paid members of REtoken also get D, E, and F channels, or they get maybe members get free courses, but free members have to pay for courses if they want to take them, optional or whatever. We can structure this thing however we want. The goal is to do two things. One is we want to make sure that REtoken the REtoken community is getting made whole for the effort that they're putting into this in the future. I know we'll probably front the front end of it. But as we continue to grow and provide value, we'll probably ask people to either pay for it or do work in REtoken or whatever. And then we also want to provide an affiliate program so that as people are driving people into the courses and driving people into the things that make REtoken money, that they get a piece of that money. So that's all important to us too.
And one of the goals too with Mighty Networks is to increase the engagement. I mean, Discord is a great place where you can just come and lurk. And like one of the things that we're going to work on through our onboarding process is making the whole onboarding process better. And like it might be a different experience for somebody that comes in through whether it's Mighty Networks or Circle. And yeah, I do think that it would be good. And that's something that we'll spin up a thread and start having some side conversations. I'll have a side conversation with Tyler as far as things, and then kick off a thread in Discord too, because we've already got this ball in motion as far as the Mighty Networks. We're already at the time. Did we want to reconvene on this topic on Monday?
Well, so Monday will be 3 days to final decision. I really appreciate everybody's great feedback. I do want to check out Circles and see if that might be an alternative to this. But is there anybody that says, I hate this tool, it's terrible, it's a complete waste of money, it's irresponsible of us to use this for REtoken with REtoken's money? Is there anybody who's kind of in that camp?
I think, Tyler, we can do a temp check and see if
Okay.
people are warm to it or not. And
Yeah, it's a good idea.
We proceed from there.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and call this a wrap at 3 o'clock. I will go ahead and set a meeting we've got a couple meetings tomorrow, and I want to add more meetings tomorrow. I'm going to add something else for Monday. In the meantime, if you could all please take 15-20 minutes on your own, poke around on this, DM Yonks or me with any questions that you have or feedback or anything else that comes up. But we really want you guys to see if this is a tool that you would want to use actively before we commit to paying for it. We'd love to, and if you say, hey, I didn't even think about this, but I really have a question about that's what we want to do. So Amy, thanks for that feedback. I'll do a temp check on Discord, and then I'll throw up another event for Monday, and then we'll go from there. Is that good with everybody?
And one of the things too, whether it's this tool or another tool, like just thinking like topics, which is the best way to categorize the content on here really. But I don't have anything else. Great job, Tyler, hosting today. Thanks everybody for the feedback and the engagement. That was awesome.
Answer to Andrea. I think there is a way to do DMs. Let me just try this. Chat, expand. I don't actually know. So let's see if I can. Yes, if you go to chat and you double click on oh, that's not DM. That's
well, and the better question is, are you using it on mobile? Because it's a very different experience on a mobile. It's super easy on a mobile too. So if you don't have the mobile app, go grab it off of the app store. We'll throw a link in there too for everybody in the Mighty Team chat with the link to download that from the Android and the Apple store. But it's I'll send you a DM on there, Andrea.
Cool. Okay, hey, thank you guys all so much for showing up. Great job, everybody, and thanks for all your feedback, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks.
Thanks again for hosting, Tyler.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, Tyler. You did a great job. And do we have
Appreciate
a
it.
next meeting after this without me looking at Discord?
No, we
Um,
don't. This is it for
no,
today. I'm gonna
we
focus
are-
on getting caught up on the airdrops.
We are
Okay.
done
You all have a
tomorrow,
good
3 o'clock.
weekend.
I was gonna say tomorrow, 3 o'clock Eastern. We have our core team call at 3 Eastern, and then at 4 Eastern, we've got coordinate. So if you guys are interested in those,
That's for today or tomorrow?
that's tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
That's
Yeah.
our next planned group event is core team at 3 Eastern, and then coordinate at 4 Eastern.
Okay. You all have a good
Okay.
afternoon.
All
Bye-bye.
right, you too. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks,
Okay, bye.
everybody.